episode of the Gate to Wire podcast, brought to you by our friends at Spendthrift Farm. We've got a very special guest on this episode, fresh off a win in the Big Cap or Santa Anita Handicap aboard Idol, a rising star in the handicap ranks. And this guy's won the biggest races in the world. But we're very lucky to have Joel Rosario. Joel, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
And
Appreciate it very much.
we're also lucky to have Edward, I don't know, or Eduardo, I should say, I don't know, Joel Rosario Cofino, who actually was nice enough to get Joel on the show for us, which he's done many, many times. Thank you, Ed, for coming on and for getting your friend Joel on. We appreciate it.
Pleasure to be on, John. And, Joel puts up with me as a friend because every time I see him, I always take pictures with him and make him late for his mounts.
Well, and I will say this because I've known you a while. You are a difficult guy to put up with sometimes. So Joel, a lot of credit for putting up with Eddie. So that's a big plus.
Well, no, thank you, Eduardo. Thank you for to make it the interview happening here. Appreciate it.
Now, Joe, let me ask you this. Okay, you're riding big races all over the world. Okay, but I know you ride sometimes Gulfstream. This year you're at Santa Anita. You ride the Saratoga meet. You ride in New York, California. Where do you like living the best? Because people argue all the time. The West Coast is the best to live. The East Coast is the best to live. Saratoga is great to live. I live in Florida. I like to live in Florida where I haven't worn a jacket in 10 years. So where do you like it? Where's your favorite place? Not to ride, to live.
I mean, I love Florida, but I mean, with the time I've been spending here in California, I love California, also New York, so, and like New York City or up Saratoga. So I really, just happy to be, here and in this country, and then it's a lot of great places to be.
Anywhere where the good horses are, I guess.
Yeah, and that too.
Now, as far as riding, okay, is there a big difference in riding on the East Coast to the West Coast to Florida, or is it pretty much the same? As a fan or as a handicapper, tell me, is it different? Is it like what are the differences at each circuit or each part of the country?
Oh yeah, of course it's different, So the races from, for example, California, Santa Anita, it's different than New York, the different style because how the track is built and how the track is, how the grass is and stuff like that. And then also the dirt track. So of course you have to, some you kind of have to ride it different and than probably Santa Anita or and stuff like that, New York, and because like I said, the surface.
Right. Now, what about the riding colonies? Are they pretty much the same? I mean, I know they're competitive wherever you go, but I've heard, and a couple of trainers have actually told me this, and I can't tell from watching, but I've heard that in California, the colony and the riders are a little bit more friendly on the racetrack, whereas they'll give you a little bit of room. They won't crowd you as much. They kind of, cooperate with each other. Where on the East Coast and in New York, especially, they're very competitive and nobody likes to give up any room and they'll kind of crowd you and ride you rough a little bit. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's more, you're a little more aggressive, probably, like in New York, like the rider, but I mean, I don't say aggressive, I mean more competitive, and then also, different with the California and there. So obviously, yes, it's just, they have a rider from, in New York, from like Puerto Rico, from Venezuela, all kind of rider from everywhere. So obviously, the racing and stuff there.
Right. Now, you started riding in the Dominican Republic, correct?
Yes.
Very, very young, as I understand it, right?
Yes, very young. Yes.
How old? How old were you when you started riding?
I was 13 when I was like a professional riding.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
probably riding earlier than you even probably should have been, because I don't think you're allowed to ride 13 years old anyway, correct?
No, they have to. My dad and my mom, they have to sign like a, like a
A waiver?
papers to, yeah. So that way, I'm allowed, I could have go to the, right.
Now,
Well, if I remember correctly, your parents had to sign permission slips for you to enter jockey school at 12 years old. Is that right?
Yes, I went to school to, yes, but they didn't, they, because I was really young. I was, 12 years old, and it was, they put me like in a waiting list because, but I was in the school, but just, they couldn't let me in until, because I was so young. But, but finally one day they decide to, they work in the paper with my mom and my dad, and that's how it happened.
so you knew that young, you were that young when you knew you wanted to be a jockey?
Yes, I've been around horses all the time, all my life. My mom and my dad, they have, farm horses, but, I was always, all my life, I, was like riding the horses since I was like, since 3 years old. And, since the time I get on a horse, they always put me in the back of the horse. So, I would love the horses all the time. Yes.
Right. Now, I'm sure you kind of hear these things out there, but fans in racing, they always compare you to Lafitte Pincay, one of the all-time great riders, and that's a worthy comparison. I think you deserve that. And they also say, which is also very accurate, that one of your strengths, if not your biggest strength as a rider, is that you're a very strong finisher and great on a closer, which we all know you excel there. But I watch a lot of races, okay? And I study things, and I like to look at things that everybody doesn't see. And personally, I like you on speed horses, on front runners, because you have that way of just relaxing and kind of like Pat Day used to ride. He was before your time, but Pat Day, when he was on the front, he would have a horse
Hmm.
relax, and he always had that little extra. And a lot of times you've got those reins nice and loose, and then you just set them down in the stretch and they just take off and go. Even if they went fast early, they just relax and they take off and go. So I think that you're probably as good on the front as you are coming from behind. But my question is, do you have a preference, a style, assuming that it's, the horse can do whatever you want him to do? Do you like being on the lead or coming from off the pace when you're riding in a race that you really want to win? Like, what's your preferred way of doing it?
Well, thank you, for the compliments. I appreciate that very much.
Well,
I really don't have like preference. I really just ride the horse to understand the horse exactly what the horse want to do, and that's the when I ride it, just depend on the horse. If the horse, the style of the horse. So yeah, so basically I just trying to get it along with the horse and to see what I can get the best of in the race.
right. Now,
Hmm.
the Dubai World Cup, the Kentucky Derby, the Breeders' Cup Classic. All three of them you win. They're three of the biggest races in the world. Okay. Uh, when you cross the wire on each one of those, which one gave you the biggest, like, I did it?
I mean, all the races they are, all the three races they are, but it's not easy to win it, as a rider or as a trainer or as a owner or anybody, so who was in, the business. And, just, I remember when when I won the Kentucky Derby, that was the more of, touch of me, that day, because I remember watching the Derby and when I was in Dominican Republic, and I was like thinking to myself, maybe one day I be in those kind of races like that, and then have one day a chance to win it. So that was really very special for me, and very happy because I just remember that time with I would me back in home in Dominican Republic and watching the race and stuff like that.
When you
That's so.
win a Kentucky Derby, okay, do you feel like, okay, I won it, or does it make you want to win it again even more?
Oh yeah, it definitely make me want to win it even more. So, but just but really happy because it happened, and like I said, it was like my dream. Growing up in Dominican Republic when I was following the racing, we understand how the racing, you know, on my young age and stuff like that. So that was I was very, very happy, you know, I can explain it to you how happy I was that day.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Talking about some of the horses you're riding now, Jackie's Warrior, who was a monster 2-year-old, just
Mhm.
monstrous, uh, didn't run that well in the Breeders' Cup, and then didn't run that well at Oaklawn. Have you given up on Jackie's Warrior being able to go 2 turns or get a distance of ground yet, or do you still think there's a chance he might mature and be able to run 2 turns, or do you just think he's just a really good sprinter?
I mean, it also depends, you know, you know, it's all my agent decision, you know, and Steve Ashman's and all that, and to decide that, you know, but the horse is really talented,
Uh-huh.
and you know, he has a lot of talent, and yes, you know, I he may be better sprinter, but but you know, he's a nice horse.
Right. So you haven't
Mhm.
given up on him yet.
I mean, it's all it's just so up to my agent, you know, to my agent Ron. So he's the one who doing all that call.
Now, does Ron make you work too hard, or is he okay to work for? Because Ron has a reputation of making his riders work very, very hard.
No, actually, he makes me work really hard. So yes, but he also
He keeps you out of
also
he keeps you out of trouble, Joel, is what he does, right?
oh, that's what he does. Yes, yeah. So he also, Ron is a really great agent. Glad to have him, and you know, he's, he so to me, you know, he's one of the best. And then, I mean, he just, but sometimes he just, yeah, he give me some, time so I can fresh up a little bit, so I can I cannot put hang on and like all that saying, he put me in hard work. So yeah.
What are your plans for the rest of the year? Where are you going after California?
Oh, we're going from here. We go to back east to Keeneland and then New York.
Saratoga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Belmont and Saratoga.
All right, and then
Yeah.
okay. Um, if you weren't a rider, okay, if you didn't become a jockey, or let's say you grew too tall, you got too tall, what would you want to do if you weren't a rider?
If I wasn't riding, I mean, I would probably, yeah, I don't know, I would be pick up something that I successful doing it.
I, I, I
uh,
I know Eddie has a lot of questions for you too, Eddie. I don't want to take all the time. Eddie, go ahead.
sure.
I know Eddie's got a lot of questions.
All right, so Joel, kind of going back to what John mentioned, the Dubai World Cup. You won that on Animal Kingdom in 2013. You won the Derby on Orb in 2013. Pretty good start to that year, I'd say. And then you came back the following year and won the Belmont on Tonalist.
Yeah.
But my first question to you is, you said that winning the Derby was great, but you also won the Belmont, and you were kind of your home base was New York when you won the Belmont, wasn't it?
Yes, I mean, all those races, they all, like special. Like I say, winning the Derby is really special because, me growing up in Dominican Republic and, watching the races, just remember that day. But, also winning the Belmont twice and the Dubai World Cup, so in the Pegasus that I won this year. And, I've been winning, I've been blessed, thanks God and all the people who really, so being supporting me, all the trainers, owners, and and everybody who's involved in the game and the horse racing. So I really blessed because I had the opportunity to win many British Cup too, and a lot of Grade One races. They all really important races, for for
What
everything.
was it like when Tonalist won, beating California Chrome, who was going for a triple crown?
Oh, that was amazing. That was like because California Crown was going for the Triple Crown, and then have the opportunity just me win the race that day and happen by like a nose almost, like a head. So that was very, very special moment, for me, because that was a really big day for the racing.
All right, so Joel, something probably a lot of horse racing fans and a lot of your fans may not know about, but I believe when you were like 19 years old, you won the Triple Crown in Puerto Rico, I think, on a horse called Excelencia or something close to that.
Yeah, Excelencia was in Dominican Republic.
That was the Dominican Republic.
Yes. So he won the Triple Crown, a really nice horse, a really nice Dominican horse, and then he also raced in the Caribbean class in 2005. He finished second. So
now,
really, really good horse.
How many jockeys have won the Triple Crown in the Dominican Republic?
In Dominican Republic, yeah, there's a few jockeys they win a race in the Triple Crown Dominican Republic. That I think. I'm not 100% about that, but I think so.
Well, you won it.
Yes, I won. Yes,
that's the thing. You won it.
I remember that.
So let's see if you remember this part of it, because as John said earlier, that sometimes I'm difficult to deal with. But in 2008 on closing weekend at Saratoga, 3 races in a row, you won the Saranac, the Spinaway, and the Woodward. You remember that, right? You won all 3 graded stakes races, right?
And what year was it? 2008?
2018. You won on Raging Bull, Sipicon Harbor, and Yoshida.
Yes, I remember that.
Back to back.
Yes.
And I bothered you and got in the winner's circle with you every race too.
Yes. Yes, you do. Yeah, but I'm good with it, no problem.
I'm surprised you're not barred from the winner's circle at Saratoga, Eddie.
What's that?
You're gonna put your picture up there and put like the red line, like no, not allowed.
Yeah. They're gonna kick me out sooner or later for sure.
Sometimes I'm home watching on TV, and I'm watching in the winner's circle. I see Eddie in Saratoga. I'm like, why is he in there? He doesn't. It's not his horse. Why is he in the winner's circle? They're gonna put your picture with the red stripe through it. No.
No, Eddie. He just loved the game, So he just. I see him at the party. I see him everywhere. So he just. I'm glad that he come and talk to me.
Absolutely.
Well, that's nice of you to say, Joel. I hold you very close to my heart as well. But
thank you so much.
That's a really nice hat.
This is John's hat. But
very nice.
I've been going to Saratoga for 25 years, and I don't remember anybody. And there may be, but I don't remember any jockey winning 3 straight stakes races like you did that day. So that has to be a special day for you.
Yes, a very special. I mean, winning all the 3. I remember it was like the later races, and then winning all 3 back to back was like wow. I didn't expect it. That was gonna happen. It can happen because but I didn't expect that was gonna happen in the moment. The horses, they all ran well, and it was great.
Well, I'm still waiting for maybe it'll happen this year for you to win the riding title at Saratoga.
We look forward for that.
So, but I do want to ask you, I guess you got back together with Ron Anderson as your agent like 3-4 years ago, right?
We've been together for like 9 years.
But he was your agent at the beginning, and then you got back, and then
No, we've been together the whole time.
Oh, have you? Oh, I thought you left him and then came back to him.
No. That was Ronnie Evans. That was the old agent that I got before him.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Joel, let me ask you this, and this puts you on the spot a little bit. If there was one rider, you're coming down the stretch, and it's going to be close, it's going to be a photo, okay? And you're in it, but it's going to be a tough photo. Who's the one rider that you don't want or that you least want to be the guy that you got to beat? The toughest guy to beat in a photo, other than you, because you're pretty tough to beat in a photo. But other than you, obviously, who's the one guy you're like, I wish it wasn't him?
Um, I mean, no, not really.
Doesn't
I
matter who it is.
Yeah, doesn't matter. No.
I like it. All right.
Yeah,
That's tough. I like it. Don't matter who it is.
yeah,
I,
doesn't
I,
matter. Yeah.
I would have answered Luis Saez because Luis runs to the wire as hard as almost as hard as you do, or every bit as hard as you do.
Yeah, Luis, right? He's right, really good. Yeah, he's very strong, and yes, he's a great rider.
And I think you're good friends with Luis, right?
Yes, we're good friend, of course. Yeah, I'm good friend with everybody. So all the jocks, but definitely with Louis too.
Umberto Rispoli was on the show a couple of months ago, and he said something that I thought was very interesting, Ryder. He goes, "We're all friends in the room, but we're all enemies on the racetrack."
That's true. Yes, we all friends, but when they come to competition and the racing, it just everybody is in their own way, in their own, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
most riders, if you're on a horse that you know is tired, is not going to win, and somebody is inside of you or in a pocket or something, and they yell, "Hey, give me some room," or "Give me some room," and you know your horse is done. You know what I mean? Because you can feel it, even if we can't see it when we're watching. You know it sometimes. Most riders will give the guy that room, correct?
I mean, depending if your horse is just stopping and then stuff like that. You just kind of just um you just want to be just in your position. Just no bother anybody who coming
Right.
behind to passing you. So I mean, that's what I do with it. If I feel the horse is just he just tired and backing up. But definitely you have to ride him to the whole, but sometimes the horse is tired or stuff like that, maybe, or just the horse is just not performing, then you just have to just say it,
When you ride, Joel, do you study the past performances at all? Like, do you like handicap and study the race where you know who the other speed is, who the other closers are, who's in good form, who may not be in good form, and things like that?
yeah, we handicap everything, like the jock, handicap the how the races. We have an idea maybe how the race is gonna play up. It's not always happen that way,
Right.
but have an idea to maybe where you want to be and where do you think your horse will be, and stuff like that. Yeah.
So Joel, let me ask you this question: as an established and accomplished jockey as you are now, how often do you get up in the morning and go to the track to exercise, ride a horse? Do you still do that on a regular basis, or do you just maybe do it for some of the special horses that you're going to be riding, or maybe even some young 2-year-olds that you think might be special?
No, we're doing it. We're doing it all the time, but with the COVID situation is being a little more, you know, less because because you're not allowed to go some places to for example go work the horses, but we're still working, but not not the same like it used to be back before the COVID.
Do you miss not getting up that early in the morning to ride the horses at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, I like it to get up early, and I still get up early even if I not go and ride in the morning. Just to have my breakfast, work out, and stuff like that before I go to ride.
A lot of people don't realize how tough the physical part is of being a rider, between the weight and having to be in shape. Can you tell us what is your physical fitness regimen? Like, how do you stay in shape? What's your approach to your physical fitness?
Yes, I mean I do some exercise like cardio exercise and run. Some I can run all the time because you can have a bad, I mean, unique and bother you, stuff like that. But I mean, I like to run. I like to exercise. It doesn't matter, what kind, whatever who make me, you know, feel more ready for the race, and that's what I try to do it.
All right, so Joel, let me ask you this: do you get back to the Dominican very often?
Yes, but now with the COVID right now, so but yes, I go when I can, because I'm actually really busy the whole year, so yes.
So you still have you still have family there, right?
Of course, yeah.
So okay, so before COVID, when you go back, are you a celebrity when you go back there? Are people coming up to you and congratulating you on what a success you've become?
I mean, yeah, some like people who they follow in the race, yes. They a lot of people in Dominican Republic, like, they follow baseball a lot, and
Yes.
And also horse racing, but not like everybody we probably recognize me, there as a horse rider, So I'm sure a lot of people they probably do now, but back then probably no, probably a little more now.
All right, two more questions and we'll let you go, because you're very generous with your time, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. And one's not really a question; it's a request. But my last question is: does the gold whip travel with you everywhere?
Oh no!
It keeps a very safe place, I hope.
Of course, yeah. I cannot travel with
it. No. We don't say where.
No, I didn't.
But my last request, my wife is a very, very big fan of yours, and she watches the Derby with Orb all the time, because she liked Orb and you and whatnot. She was cheering, screaming. Her name is Blondie. Okay. So I told her this morning, I says, I'm going to interview Joel Rosario. She says, oh, get me a signed picture. I says, I'm not getting you a signed picture, but I got to ask you, please say hello to Blondie for me.
Yes, hi to Blondie. And then, yeah, that's very nice. Thank you for everything you guys do. Thank you for following me.
No, thank you.
I appreciate it very much.
All right, I have one last question before you cut off, John.
Go ahead.
So, Joel, when I see you up in Saratoga this year, because I'm going to, you owe me dinner. You owe me dinner one night, right?
Of course. Any night.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I've got this recorded, so I'm gonna bring it and say you said, of course.
I mean, the time sometimes it's crazy for me. You know how working, and then you get off, and then you have to go the next day and stuff like that. Sometimes it makes it a little hard, especially when you're in Saratoga, because it's a busy. Busy day every day.
Bueno, oye, amigo. Muchas gracias. And if you want to say something in Spanish to all your friends, say something before we shut it out.
Oh yeah, sure. I like to say, thank you for all the people. I want to say in Spanish. Le voy a decir gracias a toda la gente que nos siguen en mi país, República Dominicana, que siguen la carrera, y todos latinos también que apoyan el hipismo. Le agradece siempre y gracias por seguirnos.
Thank you, Joel.
Well, superstar, champion jockey, Derby winner, Dubai World Cup, all the big races. Joel Rosario, thank you so much for being on the show. Absolute pleasure to have you. We really appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you for your time, and both of you, and hi to Blondie again. Thank you for the support.
All right, man.
Have reached the starting gate. It's post time. Cold Front, the favorite, comes forward. And they're into the stretch. Cold Front put to the 10. Cold Front does it again. Right in the field of the Amsterdam.